Actually get both of us?
Yes.
Sweet.
All right, hello. So we're gonna drive and do a little game. That's a terrible intro. We should have a name for this. What should the name of the show be?
That's not my part of this gig.
All right. Hello, I'm Zim, this is Tony, and we're going to be doing a new show called Dilly, Dally, and Drive, where we answer a couple of questions that neither of us have seen beforehand. Tony, are you ready to play?
I've been ready all day.
All right. Tony, if you could travel to one country and volunteer for a cause, what country would you travel to, and what would you volunteer to do?
One country, one cause. Kind of want to work in like a place that I wanted to go to anyway.
Well, yeah, kill two birds, one stone.
Where would I want to go?
You should probably volunteer to do something you want to do anyway, too.
Yeah, that's also true. I would actually probably go to South Africa and be like a cameraman on one of those great white shark. Not in the cage because that shit's fucked up, but one of the boats that they drag like a fake seal behind it, and then the sharks just like jump out and try to kill the seal. That seems like a lot of fun. And volunteering as like one of the cameramen.
I picture you die, right? Not from this, but in general, you die. And like you're in line to get into heaven, and the guy in front of you is like, well, why should we let you in? Like, well, I volunteered and fed and clothed all the children of the world. I made shoes so those without could walk. And then like you're in. And Mr. Siciliano, what did you do for this world? You know those boats that tow those fake seals? Yeah, I took pictures. You're in.
Brass balls, son.
Yeah, I think I would volunteer to go to some third world country. I don't think I care too much which one it is. Maybe something that's not terribly hot or filled with disease-carrying rodents and mosquitoes.
Zika virus.
To like maybe Habitat for Humanity, build homes for the less fortunate.
That's so noble. You could actually build a home too.
I've done that before. But this will be for someone worthwhile. What is your favorite book from the last 10 years?
Well, I can't read, so...
So a picture book or pop-up book, maybe a takeout menu with pictures?
Favorite book? I read, like, the self-help books that you see in the Barnes & Noble kind of thing. That section that's got, like, Be Your Best, a book by
I was going to say,
Johnson.
The Bargain Center.
Yeah. I like those kind of things. What's the best book that I read? The last 10 years, too. I think probably all of the books that I've read have been in the last 10 years. Like, before that, it was only, like, textbooks at school, which I don't think I would want to qualify.
Those count. I read, let's see, the last 10 years. I'm trying to think if this is the last 10 years. Not John Dies at the End was a great book. And that had a...
Right?
Yes. Well, I then purchased the book to support the author. But then I don't know if that might have been more than 10 years ago that it came out. If it was, there was a sequel called This Book Is Full of Spiders, and that one was also good.
That's cool.
I like that author. He does a lot of work for Cracked online magazine because the print magazine is dead.
I didn't even know they had a print magazine.
Oh, they had a print magazine for years. It was wonderful. I'll show you something. All right, Tony, you get 3 wishes. What are they? No wishing for money, love, or harm to others, or more wishes. Besides that, you can wish for anything.
No wishing for money, man. Is it the same thing as wishing for something that just generates money? Like,
I'm going to say yes. If you would have been like, how about gold? I would have been like, yeah, gold's fine, but you asked for a machine that generates something you're not allowed to have. So no, you can't have that.
What would I wish for? I wish I had some kind of ability to really know what people are thinking. Like,
so you want mind reading?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, so that's 1. You get 2 more.
Kind of like the idea of a spaceship. Not any particular kind, but it doesn't have to be pretty, but it could be.
Okay, a spaceship.
Sure.
Might want to make your 3rd wish the ability to fly a spaceship.
That'd be good. I think I could learn that, though. I don't,
There's a very steep learning curve, and one mistake, I'm pretty sure you're dead.
Or you end up in the wrong planet.
Have you ever really read the manual to anything you've ever bought? Maybe your camera?
Yeah,
but
no.
mostly no, right? So picture
pick
those
it
are
up.
like 3 pages that are really just 2 pages stapled across each other as most manuals. This would be like 3 Bibles that are like in a ring attached to more Bibles, like
An encyclopedia.
and it wouldn't be like a fluid read. It would be something that it'd be like see
Really
and you have to look
study.
shit up.
Yeah.
I think I'd clarify that wish. Like, I want like a spaceship from like a million years from now when people are like
Shit
so
flies
dumb
itself.
and yeah, exactly.
That's good.
The Flight of the Navigator like one where it's like go.
Take me here. That's good.
All right, 3 wishes.
Yeah,
Well, I would love to have the powers of. I think I'll go with all superpowers in my thing. I would want like pretty much to be Wolverine. So assuming I could actually just wish that to be Wolverine and I wouldn't get like some like, dark wizard who'd be like, you're now paper and a drawing. I'd be like, no! Like if I actually had the healing factor, the adamantium bones, and adamantium was the adamantium from that world and not our adamantium, which is liquid, I believe.
That's the full package.
That's the full package. If that takes all 3 wishes, I would be fine. If it doesn't, I would then say I also would like to combine that with the power of Spider-Man, and I want to combine that with the power of Morph. Morph being essentially Mystique, except never blue, and a man, so I chose my same-sex partner.
Thank you for being specific on that.
Just because I feel like you cover every base possible there. It's like, well, that's unkillable. Well, how is it unkillable? Well, let's say you go to shoot me. I go, Spidey sense, I avoid it. Oh, I missed it? All right, you got me. I healed. Oh, they're going for round 2. Change what I look like. Still able to heal, still able to avoid, but look different.
Damn, bro. You really thought that one out.
That was just what I thought of right now. If you gave me a couple minutes, I think I could have really beasted that one. What is your fan age demographic? This is more for a that one applies more to somebody who has fans.
Like a YouTube channel, yeah.
Yeah. But what would you think your demographic would be? Who do you think would be interested in watching you, Tony?
I mean, probably people that are 25 to 55.
That's a pretty broad spectrum.
Range. I would say probably like, if I had to be more specific than that,
You do.
like 25 to 40.
I'll take that.
You know?
I would think mine would be lower. I'd think mine would be like 15 to 25 or something.
Okay, because the YouTube generation.
Yeah, I think there's more kids than there are adults watching my stuff. What is your best road trip story? I've had 2 road trips with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is number 2?
No, you don't even remember our lives, Tony. So the first road trip, we went to Delaware to buy lottery tickets because their lottery was really high. This was before they had entered the Mega Millions.
Oh, God.
Or was it before we entered? There was some reason why they had an independent lottery that was way high. It was like $400 million, and this was way before lotteries reached that consistently. And we packed up and we drove, and this was before there was GPS. We had like printed out maps. And I remember we missed a turn, and it wasn't like Jersey where like you could catch another turn after like 3 minutes. We ended up going like 27 miles out of the way. The second road trip was when we went to the King of Prussia Mall.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And that was that one I think I have the fondest memories of.
Lee was sitting right back there.
So me, Tony, and Lee, as you know, Lee from the channel, we were going to the King of Prussia Mall because I was trying out for Who Wants to Be a Superhero, and we're going down there, and it's like a horrible snowstorm.
It just like finished snowing and it's still going on.
The roads were shitty, and we're driving. The best part of the trip is we're driving, and there's a merge point where like the highway is going straight, and from the other side is an on-ramp, and a bus is merging through that triangle of slushy shit snow. But since it was snowing very heavily, there was a lot of slushy shitty snow, and this bus merged through about 20 yards of it, and it just sent a literal tidal wave that went up and down just into our car because we were driving at the exact same pace as the bus, and it's just, you can't see anything. Think of whiteout conditions, only the car's jumping up and down from the weight of all this snow hitting the car, and me and Tony are like, ah! And Lee's in the backseat going, and I thought we were gonna die, but Tony, like a champ, he locked hands on the wheel and never twisted us into death. That was pretty good.
Scary shit. I just remember the noise that it made. Like,
oh, it was terrible.
It was like wet fish hitting the.
Oh yeah, it was literally like there was a crane above us with a big bucket of fish just dropping it. But it was such a large bucket, the car was literally jumping from the amount of weight hitting us, and the noise was like and completely covering the windshield. There was when I say like people say like literally couldn't see. You could not see. It was hitting us so furiously. It was covering the whole windshield and the side windows. We were completely fucked. How sweet it is.
And now ever since then, every time it snows, I like get one lane to the left just to avoid that shit. And I see it, I'm like, nope, that's how I almost died the first time. Not gonna get
No,
time.
bus. You go to hell.
Not this time.
So what's your most memorable road trip experience? Is that it?
That could be it. I mean, other than that, I mean, my favorite road trip was I was actually all by myself, and I was driving like 3 hours out to meet with some friends at an amusement park out in Pennsylvania called Knoebels.
Never heard of it.
It's a
do you mean Chernobyl?
No.
No.
Wrong continent.
I'm sorry. I thought that was in Pennsylvania.
I was just going out there like one October. I just got the car that I had before this one. And it was like I had like 30 miles on it or something, and then I just jammed it out. I did 80 the entire way, and it was like, man, this is an awesome car. It was so much fun. I was just nothing really special about it, but like the music was good. Like I just turned it up and windows open, had a nice coffee. It was like good alone time in the car.
Good alone time.
Wink, wink.
Tony had no pants on that whole drive.
That's why it was a good drive.
But it was sitting high enough. No one knew, except that one truck driver.
Politely waved.
Him and Tony locked eyes, had a good maybe 3 to 4 miles of just looking into each other's eyes as they drove.
Staring lovingly.
I can only assume he had no pants on either.
Never did tell.
If you could invent anything, what would it be, and what would the catchphrase be?
Oh, God. If I could invent anything.
So, I'm going to assume you can't steal something that already exists.
Yeah.
I'll go first, because I've thought about this before. I'll do two, because there's one thing that I actually went for patenting on, and that actually applies. I tried to patent a microwave that would be inset into the counter, and the door would still be in the front, but like a drawer, you'd pull it out, and the top would be glass, so it would be flush with the counter, and you could look down on things that are cooking, because a majority of things you put in the microwave, it does not help you at all to see them from the side. Like, melting nachos, boiling soup, doing whatever you may be cooking, you want to see the texture of it from the top, not the side. And it did not exist. I was able to apply for my patent, and but to press forward to get it developed cost too much, so I did not end up pursuing that.
You're fighting like IKEA, like so many companies.
But the thing that I talked about recently that if I could invent, let me first ask a question of you, Tony.
Sure.
Tony, have you ever gone to the bathroom?
Once or twice.
Okay, so you're familiar with the concept. So, have you ever gone to the bathroom? Number 2, you wipe once, you realize I'm good. It's clean. It was a perfect poop. It was fibrous. We call them flawless victories where I come from. You may know them as the ghost shit because you don't have any evidence it was there. You familiar? Have you had this before? Yeah. I would like to invent a pill that would give you nothing but these perfect poops.
Yeah, I think they call that Metamucil.
I don't think it can promise what I'm looking for, and my catchphrase would be flawless victory.
I honestly, I saw a video one time of a
man pooping.
No, switching subjects entirely.
Oh, okay then.
I saw a video of an 18 wheeler with a basically like a cow catcher on the front of it.
Okay, was this on Mythbusters?
It might have been. Yeah, I only saw like a GIF image of like just it plowing through like sidewalk barriers and like all sorts of crazy other cars.
It has like bracer bars across the side holding it in place.
So yeah.
Yeah, Mythbusters did this.
I really want one of those like in reality.
Okay.
But with like a death ray. So the idea is that like when someone's in your way, you just blow them up. But then you have this thing on the front to like push the
Okay, so your death
Crumbling
ray,
wreckage out of
your
it.
death ray doesn't eviscerate them and turn them to dust. It just like barbecues them so that you could rip through them.
Yeah, like think of the way that maybe like the vampire. Well, I guess that wouldn't even really be right. It'd be like a little bit less than the vampires in Blade when you show them sunlight and they're like and they just kind
Turn
of
to dust,
up, but like a little less than that. So
Okay.
that there's still some evidence that I can kind of.
So
like,
you
shake my
want it
fist
to
at.
more be like it turns them to brittle stone and then you crush through them.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Okay. We'll
The
call
way you
that.
said it's a hell of a lot better.
We'll call that a Medusa ray then. We won't call that a death ray. It does induce death, but you want to really deliver that final blow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be really satisfying.
Let's see.
You got a catchphrase for that though. Sorry about that.
What's your favorite YouTube channel, Tony?
Actually, my favorite YouTube channel right now is the Hydraulic Press channel.
I'm familiar.
It is definitely
to me, that's a worse version of Will It Blend.
Oh, yeah,
Have you seen
it
Will
is.
It Blend?
It is, yeah.
Will It Blend? Don't breathe this. That was my. I got it. Does he still do those?
the Does It Blend guy?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, like, you know, I don't know if it still kind of loses its shtick or whatever. If it's like, oh, it's iPhone 5S, now we do the 6 or whatever. But
I really enjoyed those. I loved. There was one where he dropped a bunch of bad guy action figures and a Chuck Norris, and he blended them, and then like. Then he looks in, and like all the bad guys have blended the dust, and Chuck Norris rises out.
Other than that, what else is my favorite YouTube channel? I would say that's really the only one I'm like subscribed to.
That you're subscribed to,
Yeah.
really?
I mean, there's others. Like, I mean, I'm subscribed to some of my friends' channels and things like that.
But professional-wise, I'm subscribed to 4 channels, I believe, that are done by professionals. I like SourceFed Nerd, Philip DeFranco, and I like Captain Disillusion. Have you heard of Captain Disillusion? Captain Disillusion, very awesome. Does not come out with things fast enough because I think of the content he's delivering. It takes a little while to really drive them out. It's like a couple. It's like maybe 1 or 2 a month. But he's dressed up in like an outfit. His face is half silver paint with like black dripplies over it, and he's kind of like he's kind of like a Bill Nye-y kind of character, but he's there to explain and debunk viral videos. So, like a ghost video is really popular, or an alien video, he goes, this is what they did. They do this, they blah, 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 they stabilize the image, they crop this, you can see that. I can reproduce it right here, and he does that. Like,
really? That's cool.
in the last video he came out with, he forever became someone I'll be jealous of, because he co-hosted this episode with Beekman from fucking Beekman's World. I'll have to slap you to death and push you out of the car. Is that correct? You don't know Beekman? So there were 2 different rising up scientist people of our generation. It was Beekman and it was Bill Nye.
All right. Bill Nye, I know.
So I know Bill Nye was shown in school. Beekman, I think, was on Channel 2. Beekman was a guy with like a thick, Long Island type accent. He had a green suit and he had big hair, like Don King like type hair. And he had.
I think I'd really appreciate this older.
It was so good. He had 2 assistants. One was like a 90s girl, like really 90s dressed, and one was a guy in a rat suit, like a really ghetto New York Chuck E. Cheese type rat suit with the arms ripped off so his bare skin showed there. And it was so good. It was so funny. It was very well written. It was on Netflix for a little while. I don't know if it's still on there, but super good. I'm sure you can find a couple episodes on the YouTube.
I just thought of a device that I would like to make.
Okay.
We're
going back?
A machine program, whatever you want to call it, that will generate and make the episodes to a series of TV shows and movies that should have had like sequels.
Had longer runs, like Firefly.
There's a million of them, I'm sure. But
well, there's a thing that someone did invent that does that. It's called the comic book, and they have continued to that.
That's not going to give me a picture on screen unless enough people vote for it on some website somewhere.
No. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer show that I love might be my favorite show. In fact, I will say I will go on record that's my favorite show. Was ended in the 7th season, but they got 3 more seasons out of it on comic book and potentially forever more. And the best part about comic books is the characters don't age, they don't change, you can do whatever you want.
That's true.
But season 8 was popular enough that it did come out in a motion comic. That means they animated the comic, so you could buy that on DVD and you could watch season 8 with voice talent. Not the original voice actors, mind you, but they're pretty good.
That's cool.
So that's pretty good. Shall we move on to the next question?
Yeah, go for it.
What character from a movie, TV show, or book are you most like? That's a hard question.
I feel like if you've seen Breaking Bad,
I have.
I have not yet completed all of the seasons.
Okay, again, I'll push you out of the car.
but one of my favorite characters is absolutely that guy Saul. And
Okay.
he's my favorite just because he's like he's kind of, I mean, he's very dirty, obviously, but the way that he does it is like, I know he's getting away with it, god damn it, and like you can't stop him. And that's what I love. And
and do you think you do that, Tony?
no, not at all. But
So this is who you'd most want to be like. Okay.
because I just love him. His attitude is great. He's Jesse's
Okay, so we're changing the
slump.
question. Now it's who do you want to be?
We make the questions.
We make here on the internet. We make the questions. This is our car. 6/10 of the law. Something, something, something. All right. So if it's who do I most want to be like, I definitely would like to be like the character from Triple X, Xander. He's Vin Diesel's character.
Okay.
Because he's such a fake, outlandishly awesome character. You know, who steals a senator's car, drives it off a bridge, fucking pulls a parachute cord, flies away, and then becomes a secret agent? Nobody. And just what he does with that pie plate. He takes like a fucking tray, like runs, blinds a sniper, jumps, uses it to skate down a rail on. Like, impossible. Want to be that.
Okay. Ask the other question, like, who do you think you are most like?
Who do I think I'm most like?
Who do you think you are most like?
Let's see.
Who do you relate to the most? Let me put it that way.
Probably some secondary character in a show, like I don't know. I feel like that's a question better to ask somebody to ask of you, like if I did you and you did me, like who are you like?
That actually take a lot of thought.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're gonna think about that one, and we're gonna come back, and I will pick a character that Tony is, and Tony will pick a character that I am.
Also, because I'm not like the best at movies.
I know he's one of the worst.
Yeah, you're literally sitting with probably like bottom 10 lowest of like, hey, that's that character.
What is your favorite non-US TV show? I think The Mighty Boosh might be my favorite. I love the show Misfits. Have you seen that?
No. Would you consider the Boosh non-US TV though? Because they did. Well, they made.
It's a British television show. So yes.
I just mean like they not that they don't play in the US, but then they did play it on Cartoon Network.
Well, everything plays in America eventually. Like, Doctor Who. I can't forget Doctor Who. Yeah, those are probably my 3 top British shows. And those are the only other countries I think I watch things from. Oh, Trailer Park Boys from Canada. That's pretty good. Do you have anything?
No, I don't really actually. TV, don't watch a whole lot of it. Usually I catch stuff on like Netflix when I miss it. But not that quickly, as you can tell. No, I think Boosh is probably the only. I think that's like the only non-US.
The only non-US thing you can even think of?
Yeah.
I'm sure you've watched like Sherlock or something.
Not in depth.
All right, let's see. Did you see Deadpool?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the Deadpool movie?
My thoughts is you don't bring your fucking kid to an R-rated what do you call it? Superhero movie.
There were so many kids when I went and saw that.
Oh my god.
But like,
this lady sitting next to me with like a 4-year-old, and
but that's an age where I'd say you don't even know what's happening, so it's fine. But when you're bringing like a 7-year-old, they're gonna say fuck. Like,
they're definitely gonna drop some F-bombs. But I think it was a great movie. Like, I went and saw it in theaters. I usually see movies in theaters that I'm very excited about. I don't just go to the theaters to see any old movie or see like every movie. So I went there specifically for that one, and it was good.
No, that was a very good movie. It was and it was pretty good to comic. Like, they changed his backstory a bit, but like he seemed very much like his character. He breaking the wall, cracking jokes. Ryan Reynolds definitely a much better Deadpool than he was Green Lantern.
Like this, like with the you can tell what he's doing under it. It's so good. He does a great job.
Yes, the animating of the eyes really sold that for you.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah, because you really you couldn't have grasped that same, like, it's like, did you watch you definitely did, the 90s Batman animated TV show?
Yeah. So
like the eyes would squint and like furrow when he would do things.
Okay.
And like, because you can't convey like what you're feeling through a mask. Without that, so
that's what I mean. You got to be good. Expressive elsewhere.
Okay, they're making a movie about your life. Who do you want to play you?
I don't know. Once or twice people said, like, hey, you kind of look like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, so if they're looking at just what you look like, I wouldn't be insulted by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That'd be okay.
I'm trying to think of a character to see if you've ever even seen this person. Did you watch Freaks and Geeks?
I've seen a bunch of episodes, but like you couldn't name a character and be like, it was Jim from Freaks and Geeks or whatever.
The main character, the young boy, is Sam, and is Sam Greer, and he has a friend that's like a Jewish boy. I feel like that guy, as like he got older, could play like he was
show me his picture.
He was in. I'll show it to you later. I'll put it up on the screen for the thing. Now he was in like 10 Things I Hate About You. He's been in a couple of things. I could see him playing you. If I had to have someone play me at like my current age,
Because you're what, 29?
I am 29. Who is? I'm trying to think of like any actors that I would want to play me.
Yeah, who like wouldn't fuck it up? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I guess they don't even have to look like you. They're just playing you in a movie. Like when you think about movies based on characters, they don't often look like them unless like it's a very public character. I'm sure Aaron Brockovich didn't look like fucking what's her face.
I get what you're saying.
The kid that played Quicksilver, and he plays Tate in American Horror Story. I like him. I think he's good. I wouldn't be offended by his portrayal. So if you could sleep with a person or people in history or alive today, who would it be? Honestly,
today?
And that person says, honestly, I would want a 3-way with Marilyn Monroe and Abe Lincoln, because I think that would be super hot.
Is that user a female or a male?
It doesn't say.
Feels like a loaded question as an engaged man, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm also in a relationship, but it doesn't say you have to have sex with them. You could just sleep with them.
No. Well,
you could have a slumber party.
Slumber party.
Well, no, but I'm just saying for the brag, if you picked like who's hot today, like Jennifer Lawrence is very popular now. So if you just slept over her house, you stayed in the same bed, you still have the same ability to say we just slept together, but you get none of the guilt, none of the trouble, but all the fun.
We face the opposite sides on the bed and
you could spoon. Is that so wrong?
Not at all. No, I was actually the first person that came to mind was just like, oh, Marilyn Monroe, or for the
just like someone super
brag.
famous.
Yeah, just for the brag, like you said.
But so like just to get into the nitty gritty of the question, it says alive or dead. It doesn't say they'll be alive. It doesn't say they're magically coming back.
Things.
Does it not change things? Because then you're just like humping a dead body or sleeping next to one to not be in trouble.
Spooning a dead body. Oh Christ!
So that's a thing.
Look at this guy.
I would just want like a photo. You wouldn't even have sex with these people just for the fun to like meet everybody. I would be like, oh, I want like the cast of all my favorite shows to be in one gigantic bed and just get a big picture. How'd you do that? Magic.
Last Genie Wish.
Yeah, Tony had a leftover Genie Wish. The Genie said he knows how to fly the thing already. I was like, all right, let's use it for this.
Got an exception.
So are you choosing a dead person? Risking it?
I mean,
They're not telling you. They're not telling you. You have to infer.
I mean, I think that if inferring, yeah, because it's almost like they said that without saying it, so I would still say the same.
Okay.
Marilyn Monroe.
If you could be a single animal, what would it be?
Like any single animal?
Any animal.
Do they consider dinosaurs animals?
They consider those dinosaurs.
No? That?
Well, I guess. No, I guess. But under the same pretense, doesn't say if it's alive or dead. You could just end up being a skeleton.
Okay. I could be any dinosaur. Decide like them. I think I would pick a raptor. Like the ones from Jurassic Park, clever girl style.
Uh-huh. But, I think I'd have some fun and try to learn something while I did this. Mm-hmm. And I'd say, I'd like to be a dragon, and then see if I become a dragon, then I'll know dragons existed at some point.
You'd like to be a Yeti? Something along those lines.
Yeah, you know, try to get a little cryptozoology out of the way. But if I had to pick an actual animal, I think I'd want to be like a gorilla. Because they're the most like humans. They're much stronger. I could still do a lot of the things I do now.
You could like have a baby fall in your cage.
Oh, that was fucked up.
Seriously, that was.
I saw something so fucked up. So, like, you know, like the gorilla thing happened, and like a week later, you saw the alligator got the kid in Disney World.
Yeah, I did see that.
Then someone posted a picture of Magilla Gorilla, and I forget what that.
Did you repost that?
I put it into the Skype because Monster said something, and I put it in there. But it's so wrong.
It's Magilla Gorilla.
It's Magilla Gorilla. He says, if a kid ever drops in my cage and I get shot in the face, you got my back, right? And the little alligator dude says, you got it, fam.
I got you, fam.
It's wrong. It's so wrong.
Why a gorilla? Why you want to be a gorilla?
Why would I want? I just said I want to be a gorilla. Think about a gorilla. A, it's an endangered species, so no one's fucking with me. Or they're trying to fuck with me.
Generally.
But I'd like, you could just do it like, I could be a superhero if I was a gorilla. Because I'm assuming by the question means I'm not just becoming a dumb animal, it's my mind in a gorilla.
Okay.
So like, you know, you chose a dinosaur, that's powerful, but
like that.
But those exist. You know, like in the sense that like if you chose, rather mine exists.
Yeah.
If you chose a dinosaur and someone saw a dinosaur, you're gonna be trapped the rest of your life.
Kill me.
I could be like on TV. I could be a thing. I could go up to you, Tony, and be like, or like, you know, Tony.
Excuse
okay,
me, sir.
you now possess a gorilla that can do complete stage direction. Let's go and make money. And then, like, you know, you have a TV show about a dude and a gorilla, or we fake like you're really good at CG, and like we have a show where the gorilla's fucking talking to you and doing stuff. If you could master any of the 4 main elements, you know, earth, water, fire, and air, which one would you choose? Well, I'd go with Wheeler from Captain Planet and choose fire, bitch! And I'd always wear a Captain Planet ring.
Seen that YouTube skit with Don Cheadle with
as Captain Planet? Yeah.
So good.
By your powers combined, I am Don Cheadle.
It's one of my favorites. What element would I want to master?
Earth is probably the most powerful, honestly.
Yeah, just like raw power. Fire's pretty cool. I think I would want to master wind, just because I like the idea of flying without having to be in a fucking airplane. Because I hate airplanes so much.
I do hate airplanes, and thinking on it, like, fire was only cool because Wheeler was cool. Fire as a thing is actually not that awesome, because what really can you do? Oh, that guy's bad. I burned him alive!
It's like a defensive or offensive power. Yeah.
But it's too offensive. Like water, you'd be like, splashed ya, ha. Or like, tsunami killed ya. Yeah. Like, fire is always escalated. There's no... Aside from the fact that he controls fire, and I guess he could be a badass fireman, like... and just like suck down all the fire, but so could fucking Kwame was Earth. Who was the water girl's name? Whatever, water could do the same thing, only
Asian
actually
girl?
dousing it. Yeah.
Asian girl.
Way to bring race into it, Racy.
That's it.
That all sucks. I don't know.
What was the name of the one with heart?
Mati. Heart.
Okay.
Let's see. How old is too old for video games? I don't think any age is too old for video games. Yeah, I think as video games especially get bigger and deeper and more involved, and VR is going to become more prevalent in our society. Who's interrupting our talk?
Sorry. It says no caller ID.
So it's not even someone worth our conversation. Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where video games are you're too old for video games. I think the older I get, the more time I'll have to play video games, honestly.
Become retired.
Honestly, retirement is going to be so different. Like, Grandma would just sit there, read the paper, and, like, fall asleep. I'm going to be fucking in World of Warcraft like, bitch, all I do is do this. Now, I've never played Warcraft before, or World of Warcraft. I played the original Warcraft. But I feel like I could jump into one of those things, like, hard.
You could. What's too old for video games?
Yeah.
I don't think there is too old. I mean, not anymore. It used to be like that's just for kids kind of thing. But now they have video games that appeal to like every age. Yeah.
Yeah, I think. But even then, some of my games I like the best are the old Super Nintendo, Sega. Like, I don't think you're ever gonna time out on that shit. All right, Tony, would you trade 15 years of your life for $1 $1 billion in your pocket right now, tax-free.
No, I would not.
You wouldn't? I think I would. Tell me why you wouldn't.
Off the end, I guess. Yeah.
Well, of course, off the end.
Off
It's
the
not.
end.
It's not now. You don't just blink out and 15 years
Come back
wow,
at
you
40.
start.
That'd be so good. Come back at like 43. What happened? Hey, I don't know. Just fuck. I don't know, man. With $1 billion, you could do a lot.
It's true. My thought would be $1 billion right now, money that I'll probably never make in my life, would take away the years of working I'd have to do, which would equal more than 15 years. So, like,
I never thought about that.
what's your how much time do you think you work a year? Like, do you work 5 days a week?
Well, yeah.
Do you work
Six.
six? Do you work 8 hours a day?
Probably, yeah.
All right. So think about just not doing that.
That's an interesting point.
So I don't work very much. I only work 4 days a week.
But you get to enjoy it when you're younger and stuff like that. So
I would spend, like, even honestly, if they said you could have $1 billion now and you're only going to live 15 years, I think I still might take it. Because I think it still might be worth it. Because to be able to do everything you ever wanted to do, because, all right, how many days of vacation do you think you take a year right now?
not too many.
Not too many, which is, it's sad, right? You want to have time to enjoy yourself?
I mean, yes and no. It's not like I don't enjoy what I do, but obviously it's different than like, hey, I'm going to the beach for the
Exactly.
day.
But so imagine if I was just like, hey, you have 365 days straight of vacation right now to do whatever you want. What do you want to do? Oh, you're gonna go to Mexico today. Tomorrow you're a little. I'm gonna go to France. The next day, you know what? France sucks. I'm going to Belgium.
Lunch. Yeah.
Like, you could do whatever. You have $1 billion tax-free in your hand.
Like Richie Rich money.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So I think with that, it's worth losing some time of your life because you're getting a life.
Interesting. Well, the other question that I would
you
say
can
is,
leave a nice impact.
Not everybody dies old, right?
True.
So
you could just die now.
Is there right? So like if you say, hey, 15 years off your life, but you didn't have 15 years left,
you just die.
That's GG.
Yeah.
So you know.
But it's as sudden as it would have been anyway. So, like, you could die today. We could die right now. You wouldn't know anyway.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, and with $1 billion, I wonder if that number is locked. I wonder if you know what I mean. Like, is the genie like you're gonna live? You're gonna live to be 83, right? But with $1 billion, you might take care of yourself more and catch things and do things. I wonder if that number is locked or not.
Good point.
So you have to know a little bit going into it, but I think regardless, I'm taking it. Regardless, I'm taking it.
A lot of questions for the genie before you make the decision.
What did you want to be when you were a little kid?
Rich and famous.
Did you have a job in mind, or just rich and famous? Did you want to change your name?
When I was younger, I actually kind of wanted to be a pilot.
Okay.
As I grow older, I don't really like planes. But I think I don't like planes simply because I'm not flying it and someone else is, and I feel kind of like the same uncomfortable, but like to a much higher level as when somebody else is driving and they're not doing a good job.
I feel the same way. Like, I don't mind necessarily. Well, I don't like driving ever. I hate driving. But if I have to drive in weird elements and this and that, like, I kind of like to be the one driving because I don't deal with, like, motion very well. So, like, when someone's doing crazy shit or I'm doing the crazy shit, it affects me differently. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, maybe with a plane going like, okay, I'm steering up, I would know that it's happening.
Yeah. And the other thing is I don't really have any concept of some of the stuff. Like the thing that freaks me out about planes is, like, when you're in the plane and then all of a sudden you feel that it dips or it gets much higher or whatever. And the guy, a pilot explained it to me one time. He's like, it's kind of like when you're on the ocean and you see, like, the waves, they kind of jump up and down. And that freaked me out a lot less, but still, I'm like,
Have you, this car's like in you, Tony.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone skydiving?
No.
So, I have.
Not just no, hell no.
I don't, so let me preface this. So I already said, I don't like flying. Mm-hmm. I don't like flying at all.
When did you go skydiving?
Went for, Babs's 29th birthday.
Awesome. Good for you. Good for her.
So yeah, I did that for her because I love her.
Yeah.
But I would never do that shit for me. That was not on my bucket list. That was on my fuck it list. Like, you don't need that shit. Fuck that. But I did it. So That was the worst thing ever, because not only do I don't like flying, but you know what they do to get you to jump out of a plane? They fly a plane. They fly a plane dramatically up, because they're like, just use a little fuel, drop them out, fly back down. So I was the last one to get on the plane.
So
which means aside from being the first one off, it also means your feet are just dangling out of the motherfucker while it's doing its thing.
No way. Dude.
Yeah, you're like clipped into it, like there's a line that's attached to you to the plane, so you can't just fall out until it's at a certain depth. But my feet are just dangling out of the plane
at like 200 miles an hour in the plane.
It's horrible. And so I fell out of the plane, or I jumped out of the plane, and
which one was it?
I jumped. You kind of just like rock, and then like you're free and you fall. So like it wasn't a plane like in the movies where like you can stand up and you jump out. You're tethered to another human and you're sitting there and just kind of like roll out of the plane.
Damn, dude.
But you fall so fast, it's ridiculous. And
you had a person tandem with you?
Yeah, you have to for your first like X amount of whatever jumps. And so I pulled the cord eventually, and that's the worst part for me. It's when you pull the cord. So you're falling. I forget how he said, like it's like 400 or 4,000 or 400. I forget what it was, like 480 feet per second or something. And you're like just like ah. And when you pull the cord, boom, you launch up into the air, because now it just catches, and you fly up what feels like 10 stories, just as you come flying to a stop. And your stomach is just flies out of your shit, and it's horrible. And
did you vomit?
I definitely vomited.
In air?
No.
Oh God.
Like minutes after we landed.
Oh Jesus.
But I got the worst headache from it. So like you've heard of like the bends, like people coming up too soon. There's an opposite thing where like your equilibrium gets fucked up coming down.
Yeah, I can understand.
And my head was fucking like ringing, and I couldn't even drive home. Babs drove home. I was like, fuck this, I'm just gonna lay down.
Oh my God, dude, fuck that.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. But like that always made me think when I'm like in movies like action movies, when the person's like jumps out of a plane and like does some shit, I'm like, you fucking dead.
Because you actually like no way that's gonna happen.
Maybe if like I took like a Dramamine or like something beforehand, like it would make that headache less.
I feel like you need a little more for a concussion than Dramamine. You know?
well, it wasn't a concussion. It was like a fuckery.
Oh my God, dude, that's scary.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, so that never ever appealed to me. I mean, the idea of kind of like being free, but like the process up and then after you like pull that cord is also scary, because I'm not really like, I don't love heights, I don't like roller coasters, I don't need shit like that to be happy. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's why would I do anything that I don't like 100% that I could die. Now granted, your chance of dying is so small, but somebody dies every year on a roller coaster. Someone does, inevitably.
Why would I want it to be
yes.
me? Yeah.
If I died on a roller coaster, do you know how pissed off I would be? Granted, I'm dead.
That's exactly
what I feel. But if there is any afterlife, I'm sending you to the next afterlife when I see you again.
So much regret.
Oh no, so I don't even do it. I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I don't do shit I don't want to do anymore, unless it's like I did the jumping out of a plane thing because I care about that person very much and she wanted to do it, and I did it. So I didn't want to do it, but I wasn't bullied into doing it. I bought the tickets. It was a surprise for her.
Jesus God, you're such a better boyfriend, whatever, than me. Holy shit.
But
I would never do that.
But fuck that shit. I ain't never doing it again, I'll tell you that.
Oh my God. Now that's the same feeling, because like imagine you're on like the top of King Dakar, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, the thing goes off the tracks. You have like approximately 4 seconds until you hit the ground.
Until you're dead.
Those 4 seconds would be filled entirely with regret. Like, fuck. I'd be
like Snapchatting like, fuck you.
That's exactly how I feel, dude. So dumb.
I think when I was a kid, I wanted to be a cop.
A cop?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Young Stefan, a cop.
I still, up until pretty recently, that was my like backup plan. I was like, well, I could always be a cop. But now I'm like, fuck that shit.
Do they have an age limit still? Do you know?
35, I believe.
35?
I think it's the same as the Army.
Okay.
If you had to move to another country to live, where would it be? For me, I don't go anywhere they don't speak English as their first language, so I have a limited amount of options. And even
a lot
Canada.
Of places have it secondary, even as.
Well, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit because I don't like when people come here and not speaking English. So I'm not going to go anywhere and not speak their primary language. I have that much respect for other people. So I'm limited. I won't even go to Canada because they speak French too. I'm out of this. Fuck that place. So I'll probably go to England.
England?
Yeah.
Where would I go? I feel like I'd be okay in Germany. I've always actually wanted to drive
Travel?
like a car on the Autobahn because there is no speed limit. It's just like you kind of use good sense, whatever that means.
Did you see you're on E, Tony?
I do. E means like 50 miles. That's super cool.
Oh, good. Was this a hybrid?
No. What they do, they warn you early.
Okay.
But yeah, I always wanted to be like doing a comfortably high speed, like $150, and not have to feel like guilty, like I might get a ticket or lose my license or something. You know.
Always wanted to do it comfortably high speed, like Infinity and beyond.
Light speed. Yeah, just because I feel like that'd be a lot of fun because I would be like, you know, same problem with the plane thing. I'd be in control, and
the Autobahn people are there. But the thing is, I hear German cars are built differently than ours. Even like cars that are German cars that come here are to a different standard when they get here. I heard they're like much more secure and safe than they are here.
It's also the Autobahn is not like this highway. It's like, you know, the average U.S. highway goes like so many feet down, like they dig the dirt and then they start pouring concrete. And you know, the Autobahn is like double, or I'm not really sure what the numbers are, but I know that the roads are more well kept and they are built to last better than roads here. You know, that is a major part of it because if you try to do like 100 miles an hour across the George Washington Bridge, then you would like run into so many potholes and so many problems which are not feasible, which aren't a problem there. So that's why it makes it like, oh, you could do 100 miles an hour here comfortably.
What is the fastest you've ever driven, Tony?
The fastest I've ever driven?
Spoiler for the cops.
No, I mean, I broke 100 in this car pretty easily on Route 287.
Okay.
I was just me in the cars coming home late, and in the other one, I was like the one before this, I was afraid to break 100 because it was like not really like a sports car of any kind. Not that this is like, you know, a friggin' racer or anything, but
it's a racer.
Yeah,
it's a speed racer.
But I'm sure if I got like a WRX or some other comparable car, that I'd be in trouble a lot more. I've never been really pulled over for speeding or anything like that before. So
I've done 120 multiple times. I did it in a cruiser. I did it in a
cruiser,
the PT Cruiser I used to have.
Oh my god! And you did a $120 in that?
And the back window almost shattered. Yeah.
Oh shit!
That was I had our friend Pete from high school in the car, and we wanted just to see if we could do it. I did it on 17. That was the dumbest thing ever.
What?
I did it on 17.
Like on the down? Like
I did it in the stretch between Paramus and Ramsey, like going towards Paramus. There's like a little woodsy bit, like
where there's no where
I thought I was safe. Yeah, did that there. I did like 140 or 8, I think, in a Camaro we rented in California. Yeah. But that was on a road there was nobody on. It was like this empty ass road, but it was also dark as shit. And I remember at one point the road did like a kind of a turn, and I went onto those rumble strips going really fast, and that was kind of scary. And Lee's like asleep next to me, and like he was like no, and I'm like nothing.
Go back to sleep. Fuck.
Yeah, that car was amazing. That like Camaros go so fast, like so quickly.
Oh man, that's, you know, compared to what you drive now, it's a different.
Like even like not car. Even to speed, but just to be like, okay, I'm doing like the speed limit immediately. Right is very powerful.
That's the beauty of like a luxury car like that, or like a high-end car, is that, like you said, you're not necessarily going to go faster, stop and go traffic, but you just you get there quicker, bro. Like with the speed, we rented a Mustang one time for a wedding when I was out in California with Kristen, and that was like a cool experience because I've never really drove in a convertible. And it was actually a little intimidating being next to like a tractor trailer just because it's so loud. And you don't realize how loud it is just because usually you're just shelled in and it's all quiet, you know? That was awesome. But yeah, the other car, like I had a Ford Escape before my Subaru. Big boxy thing. And I was like afraid to go 80 in that because
it would
just starts shaking. It's not really meant to do that, you know? So I never really did anything like that in that one.
What do you think is the dumbest invention, in your opinion? There's like token ones like the Snuggie and bullshit, but like let's get a real one. Like what's just something you think is dumb?
You know what really grinds my gears?
What really grinds your gears?
There was a, I forget, I think they called it loom bands.
Okay.
And
I'm not familiar.
It's something like so a few years ago, my younger cousin, she is, I guess, maybe she was 12 at that time.
Okay.
It's like 4 years ago. She had like this thing called loom bands, and I mean it's not dumb, but it just kind of bothered me that they could sell them for so much.
What are they?
What they are is they're actually, it's a weaving device, and you take little rubber
like
bands.
a loom.
Yeah, well, like rubber bands.
Yeah.
That you take and you can make them into like a bracelet or a necklace.
And how much does it cost?
And I don't remember the exact cost for it, but I remember that it was very high for like a bag of colorful rubber bands, you know? So that kind of bothered me.
I hate most cell phone cases because I feel like they don't actually provide any safety. Any cell phone case that doesn't cover the screen, I'm like, what are you even protecting? If it doesn't protect the screen, what do you protect? I'm protecting the battery cover. I don't want to get scratched. So many of those, and like you see a lot of these girls that change their case like every couple of days, or that just, you know, as my girlfriend does this, she goes, just rock it naked, like doesn't put a case on a lot, and that stuff drives me nuts. Like these are devices that like literally hold our lives in them. They cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Like I am a person who does not have a plan. My phone costs like $600, and I am not gonna let that break. I've had it for almost 6 years, and it looks brand fucking new because I never take it out of an OtterBox.
Kudos.
Bastards.
What else pisses me off? Actually, since we're driving, I hate to see it, and hate the thought that somebody's making money doing it. I hate eyelashes.
Oh, all the
cars.
fake bull. Yeah.
I hate that. Every time I see it, I'm just like, that drives me nuts.
I hate all the weird stickers people put on the back of their cars. Well, that's like a sticker. Like, do you ever see people that put like 100 stickers like that over their back window, like weird douchey things, and it's like, it makes it go faster. So our battery is gonna die. So let's do an outro real quick, just so we have something. All right. So until next time, I'm Zim. This is Tony, and this has been driving while dilly dallying, or whatever I said the name of the show was. Until next time, it's been real. Don't die in a fire.
We just committed a crime. We recorded on the George Washington Bridge.
Oh no!